What's up, everyone? Welcome to EpicBattleCry, the place where we cut through the crap to get to the real deal on the gaming industry. Today, it is Wednesday. Happy Hump Day, July 9th, 2014. I like humping, so happy Hump Day. And, of course, I have Tony Grice and Brent Adams with us today. It is the middle of the week. We have a question to get to. It comes from Claus M.K. Larsen, otherwise known as Binky666, because everybody needs a Binky and the devil. So, Klaus, thanks for submitting your question.
Maybe the Binky is the devil. Did you ever think of that?
You've never seen your Binky and the devil in the same place at the same time, so...
I have no scientific evidence to refute this.
That is very true. And speaking of devilish things, we're going to talk about The Witcher, and specifically CD Projekt Red, because Klaus... Can I just say Klaus every time I want to say his name? Klaus?
Yeah,
so,
you can.
I've already started, so it's a little too late to go back on it. Anyway, at Epic Battle X.
I don't know if that's a really healthy attitude, though. It's like, you know what? Like, I started getting into, like, these Ebola popsicles, and now that I've started, I mean, I might as well just keep going.
Why should I quit? All right, at Epic Battle X, do you guys see CD Projekt Red, is what he meant, being bought up by a big publisher if The Witcher 3 is successful, unlike his spelling of the word successful? So obviously a big game coming out in February, a lot of talk about The Witcher, huge game from the team at CD Projekt Red, the fulfillment of this franchise for them, the end of Geralt's story. So what do you guys think? Do you see this company even seeking to be bought by a big publisher or approached by a big publisher?
Approached, yes, but selling, no. There's just nothing about them that in any way says to me these people are looking to cash in and sell off their company. CD Projekt Red is the development arm of what used to just be CD Projekt, which was a publisher. And if Wikipedia is to be believed, I seem to remember reading once upon a time that they were like the first, like they were the first company that solely distributed video games, that like all they did in their business model was distribute video games in Poland, something like that. Anyway, but they were noteworthy.
I think that actually does sound right.
They were noteworthy for that. And then they spun off and started their own game development division in, I don't know, whatever it was, 2001, 2002. So, but anyway, but the point is that the original company was started by like two high school friends, and as far as I know, they're still sitting at the top of the food chain over there today. So, it's a very different kind of situation as opposed to, some game developer that is looking to like maybe go public or something like that, or is looking to get picked up. Just nothing about CD Projekt Red in any way to me says that they are looking to get sold off to some Activision, some EA, Ubisoft, or something like that. Even if it might feel like a good fit, it just seems that they're just so dedicated to kind of doing their own thing, blazing their own trail. And they've had such enormous success with the Witcher series. Of course, there is incredible anticipation for Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah. And everybody is just frothing at the mouth to get more details about that title. I don't know. They just seem to have their own identity. They seem to be one of those companies that is number one, already successful, doesn't really need to be bought out in order to grow to the next level, like Oculus being bought by Facebook or something. They don't really need to be bought out in order to continue doing what they seem to want to do, and they're already pretty good at it. So, I really feel like I just don't have any sense whatsoever that they want to. Right. And beyond that, I can only imagine that the reason they would do so is if they just kind of got tired of, like, you know what, like, we've done the video game thing, and maybe it's time to move on to,
which it just doesn't seem like they
owning
are
a small nation, and then they'll
like Poland.
Yeah, and it just like you were saying though, it doesn't. They just don't seem like the company that is tired of making games, or that is, needing a boost, like that they're struggling with what they're making off their games now. And I got to be honest, the way the question is kind of phrased too, I think I'm even more strongly agree with a no, is that if it is successful, I think that just
spurs them to do it themselves.
Spurs them to keep going and do the next thing.
It's an endorsement of everything that they've been doing.
Exactly. Like if it were something where, let's say, unfortunately, the game comes out and maybe it doesn't get as well received or doesn't, have as much success as we're sort of hoping for, then I could almost see that being a more likely scenario that could lead down the path of them maybe looking at getting bought out. But even that, I feel like is a pretty. I don't even think they would do that until maybe they had to, like until they maybe got into a place where they couldn't do it on their own. I don't know. I agree that I don't think that it's probably a good choice for them.
I'll say this about them, since I've been interviewing them back when I was employed, with the first Witcher, these guys have always had that grassroots mentality. They've always been cool. They get up about Witcher 3 and they're like, no, it's not. It's DRM free. We're not doing any of this console exclusive crap. Yeah. Like they get gamers. They do. It's expressed through GOG as well. And it
has that whole for gamers by gamers feel.
Totally.
Everything they do.
More so than just about anything else.
Yeah. More so than just about any other company they do. But
anything at that size, definitely. Anything at their level, they're better than anybody else. Absolutely.
Playing devil's advocate though, like I've also known,
which is to say, Keanu Reeves. Keep talking.
True. Whoa. I've also, been fortunate enough to get to know Dr. Ray and Greg from BioWare.
Yeah, and it's funny because this is the thing that was in the back of my mind too.
They accomplished a lot, and they did a heck of a lot within the industry, and then it was like, you know what, we kind of want to move on. And as a business, you build a business for a couple of reasons: A, to make it a successful business, or neither of these surpassing one or the other in importance, to do what you love to do and something that you're passionate about. But if their passion does wane, like you were kind of talking about, or they've have the been there, done that mentality, then it is easy to kind of see, that if there's an opportunity, if somebody like Activision or EA comes along with a giant paycheck and says, hey, $800 million to buy CD Projekt Red, I mean, I can see that happening. I wouldn't be like, these guys are to the death going to turn down being
I agree
financially
100%.
free for the rest of their life and everything else just because they want to make games. They might take that money and start a different game studio or something else. So I'm not going to say it would never happen, but knowing them and knowing their philosophy as a studio,
not as soon as The Witcher 3. We don't think.
Yeah,
if it were to
that's
happen,
the thing.
we see it farther down the road.
To me, the situation you just threw out there, though, is kind of like that. I think the reason that it was so when that happened with BioWare, that's why people were sort of so surprised, is because it did sort of feel out of nowhere. Like it wasn't. You didn't kind of get the sense that we're sort of winding down. It was like, by the way, we've been winding down for a while and we're kind of out of it, so we're just going to move on. I don't get that vibe from these guys. Like I feel like they still have quite a few ideas they want to get out there. But hey. It's always possible, but I think it's definitely a ways off if it were to ever happen.
What about a hypothetical? Let's just say, like in DK's scenario, at some point down the road, these guys decide, you know what? Yeah, we're ready to move on. Let's sell it off. Who would they sell it off to?
Activision.
Would it matter? I mean,
it doesn't really matter, but probably.
Yeah, I'm not saying, but I'm just saying, at that point, if they are wanting to sell it off, it's the highest bidder, right? in a way. At that point, I don't think that they're really
they're not looking for a good fit at that point. They're looking to make bank.
They're looking.
I don't know. I kind of disagree. I kind of feel like they would try to hand the company off to somebody that they felt was gonna. I don't think they'd hand the carry on there.
But the downside to that, though, Brent, is there is no company in that position that they would feel the respect for, of saying they're going to handle our IPs and our games in the same way that we did.
Well, what about...
there's no company that size.
What about like Warner Brothers? I mean, they've done distribution for them a couple of times now in North America, I think, and then Namco Bandai, haven't they?
Again, if they did that though, it would just be convenience, and it would still. I think it still comes down to money. I mean, if somebody offers them, if EA offers them a significantly amount more, or Activision or some company that you can guarantee they're not necessarily in line with, it's just going to come down to, okay, we don't care about the money, so we're going to sell it to Warner Brothers, or we do care about the money, and we're going to sell it to these guys.
What about Valve?
Some sort of deal.
That's
Maybe.
that would kind of make sense. I don't know that Valve's in the position to acquire. I mean, you know what I mean, they probably are, but
they might not have deep enough pockets.
Deep enough pockets, but I mean, to merge GOG with Steam and then have IPs like Cyberpunk and The Witcher and the other stuff. I mean, that would be.
Yeah.
That'd be a
combine
valve I could
pull
return.
GOG into Steam. That might actually be an idea too. Kind of like make it like all the classic kind of older games that sometimes aren't available on Steam. That would be
I can
kind
think of a lot of people that would
pairing.
really not be in favor of that.
Yeah, a lot of people. Maybe Klaus.
I don't. Yeah.
Well,
I don't
let us
think
know
anybody
if
is in
you
favor
are
of them
in
selling
favor
it
of
off.
it
That's
or
true.
you are not. Who do you think would buy CD Projekt Red if they were to be for sale, or if you just don't want them to ever sell? Let us know. Let us know on our blog, epicbattlex.com, on Twitter, on wherever the hell else we are. And thank you, Klaus, for sending in your question today. And as always, you guys could send in questions. We're always looking for questions so that we can give answers right here on Epic Battlecry. Thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. Used to
My
be
favorite day of the week.
It actually is my favorite day of the week. I was born on a Thursday. Did you know that?
That's excellent. Good for you.
At 3:30 in the afternoon. And I used to say when I was a kid, that's when G.I. Joe starts. So
Coincidence? I think not.
I was born for G.I. Joe.
Weren't we all, though? I mean, really?
Hey, favorite G.I. Joe. That should be a topic one day.
Ooh, that is a good idea.
I think your favorite G.I. Joe says a lot
Favorite
about
Joe?
you.
Favorite
Or like
GI?
favorite
No.
episode?
Favorite GI Joe multi-parter.
Multi-parter.
Yeah, like the
Like-
Weather
like
Dominator,
story arc,
like Rise Serpentor. Yeah, like favorite multi-part GI Joe episode.
Yeah.
I was talking about characters. We need to put that on Faithful's stat.
Oh, come on, it's Lady J. There's no question.
I don't know. Jinx is pretty hot.
Scarlet guy. I'm not gonna lie.